Hey everybody! So today I have a really cool video and it's basically just about why do residency applicants, especially international medical graduates, get little to no interview invites. So I'm gonna jump right in. So the first thing is to assess your USMLE scores. Residency programs have filters, and that's just across the board. So you really need to do your homework, do your research, every single program, and see, do you have low scores? Do you have an attempt on any of your USMLEs? Do you have a remediation or any of the above? And if so, which residencies will take that and which won't? Also, which specialties? So you really need to keep that in mind before applying. Now, don't get saddened just yet. I know that that's a little bit shocking to hear that some places won't take you, but there are ways to get around this. I myself had very average USMLE scores, but the way that I got around this was by sending letters of interest. These programs have no clue who I am, only who I am on paper. And so by doing that, I crafted a very formal and respectful letter of interest. I updated programs on my intent, my reasoning for joining family medicine, and I think that it really did help. Now, something I did, which I don't recommend you do, is just rely on one kind of server to tell you all of the requirements. So I use mainly Residency Explorer. However, I did end up wasting money because one of the programs I applied to, I sent a letter of interest, and the program director of that program really liked my application. He read it, he said, "Isha, your CV is amazing, you have outstanding qualities, we would love to have you here. We just don't sponsor J1 visas." Well, Residency Explorer told me that you guys did, so I applied, right? But that's not the case. You have to go to the program's website and really read through the fine details and see if that's the program that will accept you. That being said, send letters of interest. Send them whenever, wherever, and I will make another post down the road on how I crafted my own letter of interest and what I put in them. So yeah. So the second reason why people get little to no interview invites, and this might be shocking, but plagiarism. Do not plagiarize. Do not plagiarize your personal statement. Do not plagiarize your CV. Do not do any of that. Residency programs run your CV, your personal statement, through so many different kinds of systems, filters, whatever it may be. And if you decide that you want to plagiarize something, just know how will that look on you. So before sending in your app, put it in your head, do not plagiarize. The third reason why people may get little to no interview invites is that you are falsifying information. So this is really not a good thing. I mean, if you are doing this now, how will that reflect on you as a resident in the future, or how will that reflect on you as a doctor for your patients? And this includes falsifying your MSPE form, falsifying letters of reference, anything, you name it, and even exaggerating how many publications you got. Or if you included a publication that's not yours just because it has your name on it, or even if you included a publication where you were like the 5th author, but you put your name as the 1st author, trust me, every single program will look it all up. So please do not falsify any of your information. Yeah, just not a good look. Do your homework. So the fourth reason why people get little to no interview invites is that you don't have all of your credentials. A big thing for international medical graduates is that ECFMG certification. And hindsight is 2020 for me. Last year, I applied with my step 1 and my step 2, but I didn't have that ECFMG certification. I just didn't have a full application. And so I think, it's not going to prevent you from getting interview invites. You can always update programs that you are certified within the main season, but it is something that I totally recommend that you have before going into the main season. And I was completely ECFMG certified this year. I had taken my step 3 before I went into the season. So I think that really helped kind of show that my application was a full, complete application. So the fifth reason, which I hope I'm on number 5, is that you just didn't submit your documents correctly. Did you submit your MSPE form? Did you submit all of your reference letters to the correct specialty? Or did you assign your personal statement to anesthesiology, but really you wanted to assign it to internal medicine? I think that that is a very common but important mistake not to make. Also, in your personal statement, are you addressing the wrong hospital? So are you saying, oh, my desire is to really practice in New York, where I was able to get a lot of my clinical experience, but then you're sending it to Michigan? So really do your full, thorough review of your application and make sure that you cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and that you have everything together. Another thing to consider when you are submitting your documents, including your reference letters, is if you're only submitting 2 for that specialty and the program needs you to have 3 reference letters, I would suggest that you get the 3rd. Or if you don't, update the program ASAP, but it's really important that you check those requirements as well. My 6th point, this is basically, did you apply to enough programs? I know that this may seem silly, but I personally know people that just did not apply to enough. Maybe for an international graduate, 20 programs is just not enough. So really see how many programs you're applying to and what your application is. All in all, I think that these are just some things that you should consider before applying and before just spending all of the money that you're gonna have to spend in submitting these apps. Say hi to my doggy. So if you think, or if you have gotten little to no interview invites in a previous cycle, or some of your application is just missing some things, do your due diligence and see where you will fit best. Nobody can tell you, I can't tell you what is the requirements, only the program itself can. So please do your research, whether it's your graduation year, whether it's how many reference letters you have, or your visa status. Do your research because each and every program has different recommendations. That being said, these are just a few of the reasons as to why people get little to no interview invites. I am sure that I don't know all of this, so these are just some of my points. Take care, and I hope you guys learned something.